So I am going live for the first time. I wanted to share with you all what I do in a stamping class. And I did have I started my stamping classes back up last month, February, and I wanted to share with you what we did. And if you guys like this type of instruction sheet, I will try to figure out how to upload it to my YouTube channel and put a copy there so you guys could use this for your classes, or just if you are new to stamping and you want that step by step, this is how you stamp. So that's what this is. I'm going to show you guys a few things about Stamping 101, the basics that you need to make a card. So we'll just go through this, and then I'll go through making some cute cards here. So I've got popping up to say hi, wishing you well, and a we're cute together. I might change the sentiment on this one though. So I would say that we'll go ahead and do them in this order. Just kidding. I have all this stuff handy to do this one. So we're gonna do this one, and then we'll do the floral one and then the mushroom one. So these stamp sets are current at stampinup.com, and my link will be posted below to show you guys, for you to click on to go through and check out the stamp sets and the materials you would need to make cards. So Stamping 101, a class for beginner stampers and card makers. So in this class, you'll learn about the basic tools for stamping and card making. You'll also learn about different types of stamps and how to take care of them. More importantly, how to stamp, how to make a basic card, and some cool tips and tricks to make card making easier. Also, a few of the things that you're going to need to get started if you don't have them handy, and they are listed here, so we're going to go ahead and go through them. Actually, let's just do that. We'll go through them. So here are the supplies you'll be using and what you will need to get started. Cardstock, any color. We will be using basic white. Okay, I've got 2 sheets of basic white here. Here's the order number, $13 for a pack of basic white. I believe it's 40 sheets. You'll also need a bone folder. This is a bone folder. $8, and an acrylic block. This will house your stamps. The stamps are photopolymer, most of the stamps, and can just peel and stick to the block and be reused. So you'll need an acrylic block, and depending on the size of your stamps, you may need a bigger block. So for example, for this one, wishing stamp, you would need a really big block. So you'll need to choose a larger block. If your stamp sets are smaller, then a small one should do fine. A stamp cleaner, you can use a Simply Chamois, or which looks like this, and you just get it wet and it stays in here, and you can just clean your stamp like this. Okay, or you can use, some people don't like that, and you can use a Stampin' Scrub. Stampin' Scrub and Stampin' Mist. We spray the wet side. And yes, I am starting from the beginning. These are the basics. If you've never stamped before, you don't know what these tools are, you don't know what these code names are, I am decoding for you, and then your stamp is clean. So I'm going to set this aside because I will be using this, but I will set it aside for now. A small pair of paper snips, which I cannot seem to find my snips. I do have a pair of scissors. They're the rubber scissors that can cut rubber stamps. Because they used to make red rubber stamps. So these are you can get a smaller pair of snips. They're somewhere around here. A paper trimmer. Here's my paper trimmer. Dimensionals. These are dimensionals, also called pop dots. 3-dimensional. You stick them down and you peel off the top like a sticker, and then you can add dimension. Adhesive Stampin' Seal and a refill. I have my Tombow that I like to use, and I get refills, and I can put them in there. My refills are like $2, so that's what I like to do. Stampin' Up has a great quality one if you want to get their Stampin' Seal and a refill. And then here's a list of items that are required for card making but will help you. So there's a take your pick tool. That's what this is. This side is gummy, so it helps pick up things. I will show you that in a little bit. This side is a flat, kind of like a spatula, so you can pick up things. They're really great for these glue dots. And if you turn it and unlock it, turn it around, you have your little poker tool and just lock it into place so you can paper pierce things. So that's handy. I did mention the dimensionals, and they have them in the small or the larger ones. And then if you want to add that wow factor, a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is this guy right here. Okay, so though that is used like to run a die through the machine, and it would cut this shape out. This is a sea otter. So Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for that wow factor. And then other things we could use, embossing folders or dies for that machine. We are going to be using some blending brushes today. So I will get out, I'm going to use, not right now, but we will use, let's see, blue, and yellow, and green, and a pink. So I'm gonna grab those. These were close to my heart brand. Stampin' Up makes them as well. As you know, Stampin' Up did purchase close to my heart, so I'm using some of their stuff because I already had it because I was close to my heart demo before. Okay, so if you didn't know, you can make 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So the way we would do that, just moving some stuff over. The way we would do that is cutting it in half. Now, you can either cut it this way or cut it this way, depending on how you want your card to open. This particular card opens like this. So I'm going to need to cut it down the middle long ways. So I'm going to find the middle, which is 4 1/4, because this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. So now I can make 2 cards that open that way, that direction. I'm gonna, while I'm in here, I'm gonna just find the middle of this, which is 5 1/2, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. So now I can bend my cardstock over, use my bone folder to crease that. So there you go. I have my card base for that card, and I'll just go ahead and do another one here. So 5 1/2, because like I said, it's 11 inches. Score, fold it. I fold it in the opposite direction of the score. Some people do the same direction. I do the opposite. And then, so since I did those long way, I'm going to find the short side, the other side, and I'm going to score it at cut it at 5 1/2, which is half of that 11. Then I'm going to turn it and find the middle, which is 4 1/4. And I'm going to score it. So I better move my cutter blade down. There's my score blade. The light gray one is the score blade. Again, I'm going to find that crease using that bone folder. And same thing with this one, 4 1/4. Score it. And I'm all done with my cutter, so I'm going to move that out of the way. All right, all my cards are scored. Now I have 4 card bases from 2 sheets of cardstock. I did put all those measurements here, so if this is helpful for you, like I said, give me a thumbs up. Put a note on a comment on my post, and then I will get you these instructions somehow. I'm going to try to figure out how to upload it and attach it to my YouTube video. All right. So we already did the score blade, we already did the scoring, we already creased it, our cards are ready to stamp. Here I have, let's practice some stamping. So this gives your customers a chance to stamp with stamps and then clean them, and then have them stamp some words, because those can be tricky. If you press too hard, you can get a double image. If you rock it, you can get a double image. So teach them how to stamp. And then here it has, let's try two-step stamping, because that's what we're going to be doing with the flowers. So stamping once with the stems, stamping with the inside of the flowers, and then you can stamp again with the outside of the flowers, which I'll go ahead and do. So once they do that part, this is a darker shade of yellow, crushed curry. And I'm going to grab my flowers. Let's see. I'm going to do this one, which is the outline. Okay. I think it's this way. No, it's this way. Okay. So they just need to line it up, and some people may need help with that. Also, if your blocks are dirty, your stamps may not stick. I just find the very lowest part of this flower. That's how I line that up. I moved it a little bit. Hopefully this works. Yay! Ooh, a little off, but you can't really tell. So I walk them through that two-step stamping. Same thing with the branch. And then, oops, that's an extra sheet. And then what I do is I take a sample of white cardstock, cheap white cardstock, and I put it here. And then I glue down a piece of Stampin' Up! Whisper white cardstock. And then I show everybody. And I tell them, hey, take a look at this stamped image and see which one is clearer. I'm trying to get it. Which image looks more crisp and nice? This one, because it's stamped on Stampin' Up! Cardstock. So you can definitely tell if you use cheap cardstock or not. So anyway, there's that. Like I said, I will get this to you, minus my information that's on the back here. But that's really super helpful if you guys want to do a Stampin' 101 class with your customers. So I did get this stamp dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it, scrub it on the wet side, and then scrub it on the dry side. All right, that's clean. Goes back in your little kit. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is this cute little otter card. Now, I made little kits for everybody of everything they would need. So I gave them 2 sheets of cardstock, all together, obviously, 2 pieces of cardstock, and I gave them their tiny kit. So in their tiny kit, I had them dump out all their stuff, but be very careful because there is a bee. There's their tiny bee. So be careful with your kit when you dump it out. And then they did get a baby otter. And this particular one doesn't have one, so it's fine. I don't really need the baby otter. And I'm gonna just move my stuff over so I can. So this is the Otterly Amazing set. And then I'm going to get my little Stamp and Emboss machine here so you guys can see. All right. How am I doing on, can you see the machine? Raise it up a little bit. Okay, sort of. All right, might be able to see my blanket. I have my heating blanket wrapped around me. Oh, I'm having very bad cramps. I think it's, I don't know, some female issue, but I don't know. I have a doctor's appointment in a couple of days, so I sound kind of grumpy, but that's why. Now, if you're cutting paper out, this is the designer series paper. You can always stamp and cut out your otter, but I love that these fit perfectly. To keep it from moving, you could add a little bit of washi tape. I don't know where my washi tape is. It's the one thing I didn't get out. So I'm just going to be very careful when I put it on my Stampin' Emboss machine here. Lay down that otter carefully. and set down the clear plastic plate on top. Press down so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to crank it on through. Hopefully it doesn't move, so I'll get a nice crisp image of my otter, and it looks pretty good. I like it. So he's all cut out all perfectly. That's what you want. So you kind of show them, you know, just show them a little brief tutorial on how to use that Stampin' machine. Nothing to really scare people. And then I let them know I did emboss or run it through the emboss machine, this Stylish Shapes die to get this circle, so they didn't have to do that. All right. So before I put this together, I always tell people stamp, because if it doesn't come out good, you can turn it over, but this does have kelp on it, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stamp, excuse me, sorry. I'm gonna stamp in Shaded Spruce these little kelp. And I don't stamp off or anything. I've just got a couple down here at the bottom. Cute. And maybe one over here. I am gonna have them kind of coming off the side of the page. I like that instead of just like free floating. And you saw me do this. Sometimes I do this to get the excess ink off, but I will still clean that off. And then I've got Pretty and Peacock. I'm gonna clean my stamp first. So I've got my stamp cleaner here, my Stampin' Scrub. That was my mom's. Thank you, Mama. All right, and then I'm done with my little kelp. But I need my bubbles, and the bubbles and the words are in Pretty and Peacock. So I'm gonna set that aside and find my utterly amazing stamp set. Oh, photopolymer stamps. And so if they say, what are photopolymer stamps? These are photopolymer stamps. They're clear stamps. They are really good quality. And I'm gonna put my kelp back so I don't lose my kelp. All right. And then I'm gonna get some bubbles. Now these ones you could stamp off. Sometimes I'll stamp them on paper first to see what they're gonna look like. I don't need to stamp them off. I kind of like them just the way they are. So there we go. And then I'll clean that in a second. And then I do want to stamp the words. This time I'm doing Love You Lots instead of We're Cute Together. And that's at the bottom of this piece of Whisper White. I'm gonna check my lighting and make sure my lighting is good. Bring this down a little bit so you guys can see. Hopefully this won't fall. I'm trying to make it a little straighter. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see pretty good. All right. Love You Lots. Pretty Peacock. I don't know that I use this one or not yet, so I'm just inking it and stamping it off. That's also called priming your stamp. You can also use the oils from your hands to just go like this, or the back of your hand. Again, that's called priming your stamp. You'll get a better stamped image. So, inking that up. And then it's a little bit above the bottom. Press firmly. There you go. All right. And that's it for the blue, this Pretty Peacock. And I do need some Calypso Coral for the fish. Some of my pads, you'll notice, are different than my other ones because some of them are older. So they're the older felt ones instead of the spongy kind, but they still work. And then for me, you can go ahead and glue this down and stamp around it. I kind of know where I want my fish, but I want to have the right curve. So I'm going to put some adhesive on this circle. You could also pop this up with the dimensionals, but I'm going to pop up my otters instead of popping up And I want my bubbles straight up and down. So there, that looks about right in the middle. And my fish. And let's say I ink that up and that's sitting, you can also breathe on it with really hot breath. It kind of brings the wetness back into it. That's a little tip for you. There we go. So I'm kind of just following that curve around. These fish are so cute. I love them. And I'm going to put some down here as well. Nice. All right. So then all I have to do is pop up my otter. You can even pop this up as well. I'm just going to glue it down though. Dot, dot, not a lot. You don't need a lot of the tape adhesive. You don't want to cover it with adhesive. Sure, that would be very secure, but it's also a waste of your tape. So learn that cute little jingle, dot, dot, not a lot. And then I'm going to find my card base. I wanted the one that opens like this. And now it's ready to go on the base. I also, in case you're wondering about these measurements, I cut the next layer 1/4 inch smaller. So remember we cut at 4 1/4 to get this size, okay? So my blue piece here, this I think Lost Lagoon piece, I cut it at, so if this is 5 1/2, I cut this at 5 1/4, and this was 4 1/4. I cut this at 4 inches. So 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then the white piece would be 3 3/4 inches by 5. 3 3/4 inches by 5. That would be the white one. So 1/4 inch smaller every time. I don't think I didn't put that on the card instructions. That question did come up because this was a basic class. I technically was not supposed to have layers in this class, but I ended up having layers on this card because it's just a basic card class, and the basics you need are stamps, ink, and paper to do this card. So that was extra. I absolutely love this otter. So cute. So I'm going to get my dimensionals. And if you have the big ones will work just fine. I just happen to have the small ones handy, so that's the ones I'm going to use. And I like him kind of right in the middle. Super cute. There you go. Done. Quick and easy card. And that actually has 3 layers. So you count the base, and then there's a blue layer and a white layer. Technically, it's 4 layers if you count the circle. Okay, sorry. It's 5 if you count the otter too. That's how you count layers on a card. Ones that stack on each other. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-layer card. But it could have easily been a 2-layer card or even a 1-layer card. You didn't have to do all that. So super cute. One thing that I like to do with my cards is I like to stamp them with my signature. So I have my signature stamp that says handmade by Charlene. So I'm going to put that on there. I just ordered it from Amazon. That's where I got that. All right, moving on. So our next card, almost forgot. The cute little river stones. Those are called Riverside Irregular Pearls because they are not perfectly round. They are super cute. And there's some like iridescent ones and then some blue ones. Now, where's my quicker picker upper tool? That's not what it's called. That's Bounty, so sorry. This is my take your pick tool. So I'm going to change that out to my flat. And, whoops, as it falls apart, that can just be turned. Yeah, you don't want to turn it too much because the goo comes out. So you want to just tighten it and lock it into place and just leave it alone. Some gooey stuff on there. So I'm going to grab a few of these little pearls and put them down here. I do like the white and the blue. So I'm going to do a little bit of both, different sizes as well. Cute. So that's what you do with that. Just get those cute little, get this flat edge one and just slide it under there to pick them up. Take your pick tool. That's what that's called. All right. And I'll go ahead and link most of the stuff I'm using in the description box below. Once this video is over, you'll be able to see. All right, quick and easy card. So there's that one. And then we have this one with the cute little bee trinkets. That's what those are. And this card, again, is opening up like that. So I'll grab the right card base I need. And most people save the little embellishments for the end. I'm going to put this bee on first before I lose the dang thing because it's so tiny. So in this case, I would use one of these glue dots and stick it right about there. Peel that off. Then use this side of the take your pick tool, the gooey side, to pick up that bee and place the bee on there. And go ahead and give it a good push. All right. Now I need my flowers. I'm going to be using the flowers and a bunch of the stuff from this set, which is the it's the Delightful Wishes. It's this one. Delightful Wishes. We're not using any of the dies. Simple two-step stamping for this card. I just totally touched my blanket and I got little furs all over this stamp, which is not good. So if that happens, you could just rinse it with water. Wow, it's like a bunch of it all over there. So I'm going to be lazy though and not get up. But I'm going to get a drink of water. All right, so hopefully if that happens to you, hopefully if it doesn't happen, but if it does, you have some water and you can just rinse it off. Gets them clean too, because they can get kind of mucky and then it's hard for them to stick on the block. You can clean your blocks with rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer, works really good. All right, I'm gonna get out my yellows. You need a light yellow and a dark yellow. Lemon Lolly is good, and Daffodil Delight for a light yellow, and I like Crushed Curry for my dark yellow. And I'm gonna stamp the dark, which is kind of like the outline of the flowers. I'm just making sure that I do it the right way. So I'm going to stamp the stem second, so hopefully I won't mess it up. Or I'm gonna stamp it third. I'm gonna stamp this guy first. And I just want it straight up and down. This is my outline with the darker yellow first. And then I'm going to clean my stamp. Second card, we just have one more card. I actually did a fourth card for this class, but I'm not doing that one on video. It was a mushroom card, a second mushroom card, and I don't even know where my original, where my card went. So, let me just put the, there it is. Like I said, you can get a little bit of water and clean off your stamp if it is a little bit grungy or like dirty or if it feels weird. And then as soon as that dries, it will stick a lot better to this, to the block. All right, so for this guy, and I'm gonna try not to touch the card and get it messed up. The other one has yellow on it. As I say that, I have yellow all over my hand. Ah, okay. It's upside down. And for this one, I tried to line up the bottom flower. I'm going back to the light yellow now. So Daffodil Delight. light yellow. Link that up. The tiny flowers on the top. So if you notice, there's a 2-petal tiny flower, and that one's on the top. I apologize if my head's in the way. I have to see this. And I line up a couple of the flowers to try to get a good image. Solid pressure all around the stamp. So in the middle, solid pressure, and try not to rock it to get, you don't want a double image. Ooh, I like the way that looks. All right, I'm done with the yellow, so I'm gonna put it away. I probably didn't put it away on this one, that's why I got little smudges. So right away, put those away. Then I'm going to clean my stamp. I try to clean my stamps right away as well, unless I'm using that same stamp over and over again. I try to clean it right away. I also close my stamp pads right away, because if I left it out, chances are I would drop this and it would land right in the stamp pad. People, you know you have done that and you have gotten very frustrated. So we will be using the leaves. We're going to be using the branch. We're going to be using the little dots, which makes these little blue dots. But the first one I'm going to stamp right now is going to be the stem. And this is what I was talking about. Some people may want to, you might want to stamp the stem first. If you think you're going to not be able to line up the flower or line up the stem with the flower, you may want to stamp your stem first. So I know that the two at the bottom, the two are at the bottom, and then the one branch is at the top, the single branch. That's what I forgot. I forgot to get my brown. So this is a dark brown, which I do like. I think that's early espresso. So hold please, sorry, I did not get that stamp pad. So I'm gonna go over to my stamp pads and grab my early espresso. Pecan pie is really nice too. Pecan pie is not quite as brown. It's a little bit lighter brown, like a caramel, or like a pecan pie color. I do like the early espresso. I like the dark. All right. I also feel like I want to plug in another light here. I don't know. I feel like this is going to get maybe not as bright. It's daytime, so I figured I'm going to get really good light here. But I just want to make sure that it's getting a good video here. So I'm going to plug in my OT light and get that turned on just to take out any shadows. So I hope that is better. I hope that is helpful. Okay, so stamping our stem. Tap, tap, tap. Now, I'm going to line up the top stem goes with the top leaf. I'm going to get really close to this and actually put my glasses back on. I have my readers here, so okay.
What's going on?
So I'm going to line this up. Let's see. Oh, that one kind of goes through the last flower, so I think it would have been better to stamp the branches first. I'm having second thoughts about this. I'm gonna try not to rock it. Oh my gosh, I did it. It's amazing. All right, maybe stamp the stem first. I think that would be easier. Oh, I need this for the words. So I'm gonna clean this next. And then I'm going to find my wishing word. Wishing. And all right, that looks pretty good. And that's kind of towards the bottom. I'm gonna try to get it nice and straight as well. You can also use a, what's this called? This thingy. A Misty, or Tim Holtz is called something different. We used to sell these. I didn't see them in the Stampin' catalog. I don't think Stampin' Up! Makes those anymore. That can help you line up your stamp, especially if you're doing a lot of these like Christmas cards and making it completely straight. So that might help you. One of those things. Or using a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, which is pretty cool. All right. So my words are done except for the other tiny word. So I'm going to use you well. Here's a trick. If the stamp is too big for the block, which this one looks like it almost is, you can turn it at a diagonal. Turn it at an angle, and you can also set it down so when you put it on, keeps it from bending or getting a crink in it. A crank. You know what I'm saying. I just stamped it just to make sure that it looks good. So I've got wishing you well, and I'm gonna put that right underneath my wishing. I love it. Looks good. Clean my stamp. All right. And then I'm going to add my pool party little tiny dots on my leaves. And my leaves are going to be in Old Olive, which I need to grab as well. I did have a different green out, so I want to grab that one. Old Olive is so versatile. I really, really love it. It's such a good green for leaves and trees. Kind of like that olive-y green. It's perfect, really. So, okay. Oh my goodness, this is a long video. Sorry guys, but again, this is like a whole class. So this is not just a quick Stampin' tutorial. This is 3 cards and the basics of card making 101. So I will be posting other tutorials. It might just be a card or 2. So they'll be quick, but this is a whole class. All right, my leaves. And some people ask me, like, what's your inspiration? Like, how do you get your ideas? I look a lot on Google and Pinterest. I just type in the name of the stamp set and I put Stampin' Up! Card. And then I typically change the design of the card. I don't, typically you can case, which is copy and share everything. But I don't normally do that. I like to tweak it a little bit and kind of make it my own. Cute. So again, the leaves kind of line up and with the flowers. So it's kind of like really 4-step stamping. So you figured you've got your inner part of the flowers, the outline of the flowers, your stem, and then your leaves. If you just had the flowers, light and dark, that'd be 2-step stamping. So this technically is like 4-step stamping. All right, and you'll notice I'm switching blocks with my stamps. Typically you want to use a block that fits your stamp so you can hold it easier, get a better image. I'm going to close my green now. Done with my green. And I'm going to open my blue. Now, as you can see on this one, I did stamp off the blue on this one, and then I stamped it regular on these 2. And I kind of like them darker. If you like it lighter, you would just tap, 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 stamp off once, then stamp it if you like it light. I liked them dark, so I just go straight over to my paper. And I'm gonna stamp them 3 times. And it could be dew or water coming off of your stamps. I don't know. That's it. Quick and easy card with 4-step stamping. So 1 layer card. one layer, just the base. It does have an embellishment, which is cute. It can go through the mail, tiny enough to go through the mail. And again, got to stamp the back. So I did stamp the back on this one. I just need to stamp the back on this one. And I usually use a color that I've been using on the card. So I could use the blue, I could use the yellow. Yellow might be hard to see, or I can use the brown. I'm gonna go ahead and use the blue. There we go. Wishing you well. So pretty. All right. Now for this fun card. I love this card. And actually, since I already have the blue out, I already have my stamp inked up. I'm gonna grab my card base, this card base. I'm gonna do it this way. It's gonna open like this. So this will be my back. Go ahead and stamp my Handmade by right now, and then clean that. Now for this card, you'll notice I have different, it's like a rainbow, and I did it in the order of the rainbow, so it will look cool that way. So you're gonna need your blender tools, and I've got like a pink version, yellow to green to blue. All right, so I am gonna use the blue, but I'm not gonna use it yet, so I'm gonna close that. I've got fresh freesia, all right, which is gonna be my pink, pinkish purpley color. And then I'm going to use my yellow. I'm gonna use a bright yellow. So Daffodil Delight is a bright yellow. Don't open that yet. And then I really love this green. It's a brighter green than the old olive. So it's Granny Apple Green, you can tell. Okay, I like that one for a brighter color. And any kind of order would be cute here, like a rainbow order. You can use more of a peachy color like Melon Mambo. You can use more of a red, like real red. It would look good as well. All right, for this one, I'm going to use a mask. These are called the Link Together Decorative Masks. It comes in a set of 5. Yeah, 5. And I'm gonna be using this one. Looks like kind of like chain link fence here. I love it. Now, I've seen this done a couple different ways. I am going to use this tool that I just talked about, which is like a Misty tool. I'm gonna move my pads over in order of how I'm gonna use them and my tools. And with this one, this is cool because your paper's held into place with magnets. And I'm going to try to find the center of this card base. In fact, I'm just gonna close it just to make it easier to see. There we go. So I'm gonna try to find the center and make sure my plastic is even as possible. It's hard when you're trying to hold it down. So then I've got these little magnets that are very strong, so it should hold it into place. And then if you have washi tape, you can add a little bit of washi tape as well. I feel like it should have more magnets than just 2, but I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna put it there and put that one more like that. And then I'll just move them, slide them around. This is a great tool for doing things like this, but washi tape on your paper will work just fine. Or if you have a silicone mat or a craft mat that can be cleaned off easily, that works as well. All right, so I'm going into my fresh freesia. I've seen it both ways where you can tap it. I've seen it where you brush it. You're gonna get more ink on it, I think, if you brush it. And I have a lot on here. And typically you put your finger here and start with a circular motion off of your paper and then go onto your paper so you don't get it too dark. I want it dark. I'm gonna go dark to light. So where in the corner, I'm gonna press harder and rub it for longer. And then I'm gonna go more light towards the bottom there till it's like light pinkish, almost white. So it'll blend in with the next color. I love it so far. And I'm gonna move this little guy down just a little bit. All right, so I'm done with my pink. And then I'm gonna go into Daffodil Delight. And again, punching this, stamping it on there. And then again, start off and don't press so hard where it mixes. A little bit. But I'm going over the pink to try to get a little bit of an orange. Because yellow and pink or yellow and red make orange. I don't know if it's gonna, it should work a little bit. So then it's gonna kind of go pink, orange, yellow. I do want my yellow a little darker. We're in the middle, okay? So more ink, press harder. Ah, I moved it. Hopefully it didn't mess up my card. Okay, I'm gonna move this guy up. And that's gonna go a little bit lighter on the edges and this bottom part. Oh, I totally just moved it. All right, so now you have to move it back and try to put it exactly where it was. That's, I guess, one annoying thing about these, but I really should have more magnets. I'm not sure why it only has 2, but I'm sure I can buy more. Tim Holtz website or something. So now I'm gonna go green. Grab my green one. It's my Granny Apple Green. I'm gonna go a little bit light. And try to go light when I mix it with my yellow. I know I have a little bit of a where it moved, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna press a little bit harder where I want more green. But see how I kind of blended it with the yellow? So it's kind of like a yellowish green, really. And then I'm gonna go more green here on the towards the bottom. More green, more green. Darker. So just keep rubbing it till you get that darker shade of green that you want. Okay, more of a vibrant green. I'm gonna peek. I'm gonna peek to see how it looks fantastic. Okay, done with the green. I didn't do a lot of pink. I feel like I could have done more pink, but I really like the way that the green blends with the blue, and you almost get like a teal color. So going in with my blue and moving those in a little, maybe that'll hold it a little better. And with my blue, Pool Party is the blue I'm using. And I'm gonna go into the green because I do want that blue greenish color. We are blending, so that's why I want that. And it's really pretty. I really like that. And then I want just Pool Party. So I'm gonna get just Pool Party on there and get the corner there. I may go over that blue-green just a little bit more. You can really see that blend, the blue-green. And if you want more of that blended look, you just go over, you know, go in the middle. I am moving it just a little bit. Nope, hang on. I was gonna try to go back. There we go. I wanted more of an orange here right before it goes to yellow. So I'm gonna go in again with my pink, Fresh Freesia, and see if I can get a little bit more of an orange look. So right in the middle of that yellow, right in the middle of the yellow and the pink, where it kind of lands. Not really. A little bit. I'm getting a little bit. and that's okay. That's kind of what I wanted. All right, you ready for the big reveal? Drum roll, please. Okay, remove your magnets. Oh, so pretty. I love it. And like I said, you can do any colors you want with this. You can put some paste on there. I did order some embossing paste. Oh, I'm so excited for that. So I'll be using that my next. Then this you just wipe with like a baby wipe or just rinse with water. I always have baby wipes handy for fingers and for this reason. So at my class, I will have this. I will have baby wipes handy. It cleans so well. I wouldn't use your Stampin' Scrub because you have other inks on there and it's just gonna get ink on it. Let that dry, put it away. Wipe down your, let me see, close that up. And then I am ready to stamp my mushroom and my other thing here. So I've got a black mushroom and I'm going to use my my Memento. Has been stamping better. I'm going to use my Memento ink. Typically, I think I would use StazOn for this, but it's been acting weird. I'm not sure why. So either one will work. This is pretty much dry, and I just love how it did blend. I went darker on this card, as you can see, which I really like too. It's a little bit brighter. I like that. Okay, so I need my mushroom top and I need your mushroom bottom. These are from the stamp set Terrific Toadstools, which again, I will link below. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the mushroom first, then I'll do the saying, the popping up. Make sure you get really good ink. Black on these kinds of cards looks amazing. Actually, before I stamp the top, I'm gonna stamp the bottom because I want it even with the bottom. Forgot about that part. And it does have a little bit of a bend to it, but I want it right on the bottom. And I'm gonna apply that pressure evenly. Get a good stamped image. Clean that off. And then my mushroom top. Remember I said you could breathe on these? Kind of works with Memento. Doesn't really work with StazOn. StazOn kind of dries fast. But go ahead and overlap that mushroom a little bit on the top. Press down, get that nice solid pressure, and you'll get a really nice stamped image. And try not to rock it. Okay, now I am ready for my words popping up to say hi. So cute. I absolutely love this stamp set. I do sometimes take a look at my stamp before I stamp it, just because I want to make sure there's no little furs or little hairs or stuff. Again, you can stamp it off, clean your block, then go for it. Sometimes I get ink around my block too. You gotta wipe that off, but as long as you don't rock it, it shouldn't get. All right, and this is kind of like right in the middle here, so I absolutely love it. Hopefully that's pretty straight. I'm not gonna apply as much pressure since these are words. I don't want a double image. I did apply a good amount, but nice and easy. Don't rock it. Okay, that's it. That's it for the cards. Super easy, quick. If the first one is too hard for your beginner stampers, you can easily make that a 1 or 2 layer card by just stamping the fish. I'll bring that card back. You can just stamp the fish, or you could, yeah, stamp the fish, stamp the saying, and then you could stamp maybe this die cut and not layer it and just put the blue water die cut on there, and that would make it a 2 layer card. But again, very simple, Well, somehow I got a tiny little spot of ink there, but I don't think anybody's gonna notice. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me live here at Sweet Pieces by Me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I will pop below the directions for Stampin' Basics 101, and as well as my link to shop. And then please like this video and subscribe. That would be super helpful for me. And again, sorry this was long, but this is a whole entire class you could teach, and just call it Stampin' 101, the basics. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in a video soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Okay. Here we go. I'm figuring this out. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.